When I first saw him, he was nothing but bones and fear. The auction had him listed as a yearling, but he wasn't. He was so malnourished, so stunted, that he stood no taller than the young horses beside him. He was older, but life had robbed him of his growth, his strength, and nearly his will to live. In the chaos of the auction barn, Phoenix stood out, not for his beauty, but for the pain written across his body. His hips were sharp, his ribs were a roadmap of neglect. His eyes were sad, and every time someone got too close, he swung his hind end at them like a shield. The auction said someone had dropped him off last minute and they had no info on him at all. But he was quickly labeled as a problem horse, dangerous, a kicker. Yet I saw something different. I saw a terrified horse who had learned the only way to survive was to keep people away from him. I knew if I didn't step in, Phoenix's story might end here. So I decided to bring him home. When Phoenix arrived at our rescue, the reality of his condition hit even harder. His body score was dangerously low, but his winter coat was hiding a lot of it. His muscles had wasted away, and he was struggling to walk. His coat was dull and patchy, and that defensive hind end swing, it happened every time he felt threatened, which was pretty much every
Good
time we
morning.
approached him. He
Good
wasn't
morning, honey.
aggressive. He wasn't mean. He was simply surviving. So I started small, no
Hi.
pressure, just love, just showing up every day, feeding him, sitting with him, until he learned that I wasn't going to hurt him. Based on the shape of his legs and the rubbed off ear tips that he came with, the vet suggested he may have been kept in a stall full of manure for a long time. Manure kicked up so high that his head touched the ceiling. Behaviorally, this started to sound even more plausible when I realized that Phoenix didn't know what personal space was or that he had an option to walk away when he became frightened. He would get very close to me, and no matter how gently I asked him to step out of my space, he almost immediately swung his hind end towards me to protect himself. He was also terribly afraid whenever I would hold anything in my hands, anything at all. This clip here is from a couple months after he arrived, and you can see how often he chooses to walk away during our training session. He always comes back, but since he has figured out that he has a choice, he takes quick breaks to process and de stress, and he really loves it. It is my assumption that he was either kept in a stall since birth or since he was very young, and eventually became difficult to handle due to all the built up energy young colts have if they can't run around, which then resulted in being hit with different objects, which in turn caused him to kick in order to protect himself. I have never encountered a horse before that did not understand that he had an option to walk or run away until I met Phoenix. But I gave him time. Days turned into weeks. I didn't push. I let Phoenix set the pace. The first time he let me touch him without flinching, it really felt like a victory worth celebrating. Eventually, his eyes started to soften. His body stopped flinching every time I stepped near. And little by little, the horse behind the fear began to emerge. He went through a crazy coat transformation where he essentially shed off almost all of his old yucky coat down to bare skin and then finally grew back a nice and shiny coat. Another reason why I believe that he was isolated for the first few years of his life is because he did not seem to have any social skills when it came to other horses at first. He wasn't mean, he just really didn't know what to do with other horses. He was curious but clueless. But he learned what he needed to learn and now has quite a few friends here at the rescue. He still has a lot to learn when it comes to training, and his progress is slow, but he gets all the time he needs and has come a very long way. Phoenix didn't just survive, he came alive.
Good
From
job.
bones and fear to beauty and trust. His journey is a true reminder that even the most broken
Good
spirits can
boy.
rise again when given the
Good
chance.
job.
If Phoenix's story touched your heart, please share it, subscribe to follow more transformations, and if you can, help us give the
What are
next
you
horse the
doing?
same chance Phoenix
Did you want to
had.
kiss it?
Thanks for watching.
Did you want a kiss? Oh, well, that's so nice of you.
So nice of you.